Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome back. Day 2 of the Captivate with Confidence Client Accelerator program, and today we are going to talk about position confidence. And I'll just give everyone just a second to jump on. I did get a couple messages yesterday, and it was from people telling me that they were absolutely loving day 1, which makes me super excited, and that they're already going to put it all in play and starting to create some results, which is exactly what we want, my friends. So today is going to be all about how to position yourself from a place of confidence. And tomorrow we'll go into that brain confidence. So why is this even important? Why do you need to position yourself with confidence? It's essential because you are an expert at what you do, right? And people need to see you as that expert. And when you position yourself confidently as the expert, people then begin to trust you. And that's what we want. We want to build trust with our clients and with our clients to be. So I wanted to point out first what I see happening all the time. Okay. A lot of people come to me and they tell me they're confused. They don't always use those words, but I know that they are. So I really wanted to point out all confusion is a unmade decision. So I want you to sit with that for a second. Confusion is an unmade decision. So right now, if you've been telling yourself, I'm confused, right? It's just because you haven't made a decision. And the only reason we don't make a decision is because of fear. We are afraid of what might happen. So you can go ahead and throw a 1 in the comments right now if this is you, if you have been living in confusion. I've lived in confusion for a good 2 years, and I can guarantee you it will slow down your business, and it can even create a sort of, what do I call it? Like I don't even know what to call it. Like it's a gap between you and your ideal clients. So it's almost like a block, right? When you're in confusion, they won't feel safe to invest in you. Does that make sense? Because if you are confused in any way, confused in your positioning, right? And your positioning consists really of 3 things. It consists of who your ideal client is, so your niche, right? It consists of your program, what you're offering. And the third thing it consists of is your unique value. Okay. So if you're confused in any of these areas, then you're going to create a little bit of gray for your ideal clients as they come into your audience. And we don't want any of that. We want to be really confident that we know our ideal client, right? We know our program inside and out, what we're going to do. Yes, I got a 1, right? And that we know exactly how we're going to help them. And of course, we also want to have clarity, right? We want to really understand deeply what makes us different than the other people in our market, in our industry. So that's what we're going to talk about today is when you have clarity in these areas, right? Then you are able to show up as the expert you are. You can position yourself in a way that people feel compelled to want to work with you. So let's talk a little bit about this confusion situation that so many people are facing. You are not alone. I know I lived in it for a long time. Definitely sends you down that river of misery. And a lot of my clients come to me in this place too. So I think I mentioned this yesterday, but our brain is motivated from 3 things. The motivational triad consists of safety, comfort, and as little energy as possible. So your brain will choose confusion almost always over making a decision because your brain, again, is wired to feel comfort, to feel safe, and to not use energy. Making a decision requires you most often to step out of your comfort zone. It requires you to face fear, to be unsafe, and it requires energy, my friends. This, though, doesn't have to be a problem because we can actually override our primitive brain. So the primitive brain is wired from this motivational triad. But as humans, we are the only species that has a prefrontal cortex. Our prefrontal cortex allows us to plan in advance, which is really what decisions are. We make a decision, and here's the key, is we have to stick with it, throw it out there, try something on. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't, but it's essential that we have an evaluation process. So what happens so often is we are missing the eval process. So basically what we do is we try something out and it doesn't work. And then we don't have a process to evaluate why. And then we do it again and again and again. And that's why so many people give up on their passion. They give up on having their own business. And it's also what's keeping so many of you from the success that you deserve. So we have to learn as entrepreneurs to make decisions quickly, right? When you sit around and stall on your decisions, you're stalling, right, on trying something out. It's you trying to keep yourself safe. And trust me, it's as miserable as throwing something out there and failing. It's that fear that we're going to fail, that we're going to mess up. You're going to. Remember when you were a toddler, how many times did you fall down? Thousands of times you fell down, because every time you fall down, my friends, and then pick yourself up, you grow those muscles, you get stronger. The same thing is going to happen as we make decisions, right? You make a decision. Sometimes it works. Yes, amazing. And sometimes it doesn't. But when you then evaluate it, right? What worked? What didn't work? Right? What am I going to do next time? We learn from it. This is how we get stronger. That's how we tweak and move forward and eventually nail it. Okay. So the first thing we want to do in order to position ourselves from a place of confidence is we need to make some decisions. So I want you to ask yourself right now, we're going to go over 3 areas that I think are essential in terms of your positioning. The first one is who is your ideal client. Now, there are a lot of people out there that will tell you you do not need a niche. It's 100% true. You don't need a niche. You can say, oh, it's going to fall down. I'm going to hold it up. You can stay very broad. You can. Now, here's my suggestion. When you stay broad, it's so much harder to talk to people's problems. Hold on a minute, guys. Their desires. Oh, this flip chart is actually that I ordered is too big. Okay. It's so much harder, apologize about that, to talk, oh well, forget it, to their problems, desires, roadblocks, and goals. When you know your ideal client intimately, like you know her inside and out, you know her problems better than she knows them. That is how you truly are going to connect with your people. So as much as you can stay broad, I highly encourage that you figure out who you want to work with. It's not to say that you can't attract anyone, okay? It's not to say you can't choose in the beginning to work with anyone. I actually encourage that you do, because the more people you work with, the more experience you get. But when it comes to your marketing, it is essential that you're talking to their problems, their desires, their roadblocks, and their goals. That we're talking and tapping into their emotions. So who's your ideal client? Maybe drop it in the chat box, okay? And if you're not sure, that's okay. I want you to go to work on figuring it out. Here's a clue. For most of us, our ideal client is going to be a version of ourselves. Maybe 6 months ago, you. Maybe a year ago, 5 years ago. But she's almost always, or he, a version of you. I can almost always guarantee that. Okay. So the second area that you must get clarity on in order to position yourself as the expert you are is your process. So you want to understand what is the process that you take people through. It doesn't have to be that it's a rigid process, but you want to have a clear beginning, steps, to get them to the result that you are promising or the result that you're telling people that you can get them to. Now, I highly suggest to my clients that you create your own process by looking at your own journey, especially if you're new, if you're just getting started out, you don't actually have any clients yet, you are your first client. So look at where you were, and then you're going to go reverse engineer and figure out the process that got you there. Of course, if you've done a program and they gave it to you, you can absolutely use it. But when you tap into your own unique signature method, this is what's going to set you aside from all those other people. When you copy someone else's program, there's nothing wrong with this in the beginning, but eventually you're just like everyone else, my friends, in your process. And we want you to stand out. This is what's going to make such a big difference in your business, right? In order to create really serious momentum. Okay, so the third phase, which I'm going to share with you a little exercise that we actually do in the Holistic Growth Mastermind, and it is your uniqueness. So people often struggle, I know I did for a while, with what makes them unique. And it is important that you tap into what makes you unique, because let's be honest, the reason that someone's going to want to work with you is because of it's being you. So often I'll ask people, what made you decide to want to work with me? And I can tell you that 90% of the time they say it was my energy, right? So I want you to check in right now. We're going to create your own coat of arms, okay? And in your coat of arms, you can divide your paper, or if you have your playbook, you can take out a piece of paper from there. And I want you to mark off these 4 categories. So you've got your personality, you've got your life experiences, you've got your knowledge, and then the values that you stand for. Under each area, I want you to jot down, what are things about your personality that make you you? So let me just share, for me, for example, I can be extremely inappropriate. I love humor. I use a lot of crass language. It's just who I am, guys. I think of myself as extremely authentic. Like, I am so willing to put all my stuff out there, especially if I think it's going to help someone else. So these are just a few things about my personality. Okay. I also think I care deeply. So when a client signs up with me, like, I am so invested. I'm invested in their growth because I love it. I love people and I want them to succeed. My personality. I want to hear what's in your personality box, and go ahead and drop it in the comments. Once you get through the personality box, let's move over to the life experiences box. Okay. So these are the things that you've gone through in your life. This is all unique to you. That's what I want you to see, is we're creating your own unique blend. So for example, for life experiences, I'm a mom, right? I'm also a stepmom. Some other things that have happened in my life is I've owned and operated 3 yoga studios. I had a personal training business. Before I had a personal training business, I was a social worker and I worked in a residential treatment facility with at-risk youth, actually adolescents. There's a lockdown. Lots of great stories, my friends, from those days. I've been divorced and now I'm remarried to the love of my life. I went to college. I went to graduate school. All of these things are my life experiences, right? And then so much more. I was a competitive gymnast. And I can just keep going and going. But I want you to stop and look at, what are things that have happened in your life that have actually shaped you? Those are the ones I really want you to pay specific attention to, right? Like for me, I've literally grown 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses of my own from zero, and many other ones. And that really helps me, right? It really sets me aside as in the work I do. I want you to think about how your life experiences are going to help you, right, in crafting who you are and how you position yourself. Okay. Now let's go to the knowledge box. So what knowledge have you acquired And it's not to say that other people don't have that same knowledge, right? But remember, when we think of your uniqueness, it's not just one of these areas, it's when we blend them all together. So, for example, what kind of knowledge have you picked up over your years? I love honesty, integrity, caring, and compassionate. Thank you so much for sharing. I love all of those. Okay. So as we're going, guys, go ahead and share in the comments all these different areas so we can all learn and grow together. It's super fun to be able to share and start to express what makes you unique. So in terms of knowledge, whether you went to college, whether you went to grad school, whatever degrees you have, I don't care. You have lots of knowledge. Now, yes, we put that in the bucket if you have it, but if you don't, you have knowledge from other ways, right? Like maybe you did a certification. Like I got certified through the life coach school. I think it's the Harvard of life coaching, in my opinion. Yeah, I have my degrees, but in all full honesty, the knowledge I received from that certification bypasses the master's degree I received from NYU. I know, let me blow your mind there. Shh, don't tell my dad. Hopefully he's not going to watch this. But it's true. Okay, so I have also, I believe, ingested, if that's how we want to think about, but really soaked up a lot of knowledge from a lot of great books, in all truthfulness. From my yoga trainings. Oh my God, my first, I guess it was my second yoga training with Baron Baptiste. Oh God, over a decade ago. That training literally changed my entire life. Who I am as a person, how I show up. It changed everything about my level of belief in myself, right? Like it is literally what enabled me to begin to step into being me, to being authentic, to being confident. So I want you to jot down right now, where have you collected knowledge? Okay. And I want you to see it because that is only yours. The last area is your values. What do you stand for? This is the piece that so many people are missing when it comes to their positioning and what makes them unique. When you can infuse these areas, your personality, your life experiences, your knowledge, and your values into your content, into your copy, it is going to, I promise you, set you aside from everyone else. As people aren't doing this enough. So what are some of your values? I always say pick at least 3 main values that you're going to stand by. For example, mine is courageous. That's one of them. Mine is authenticity. So courageous, authenticity, and honesty. These are 3 of my values that I infuse into all of my content, that I infuse into all of my trainings, that I infuse into my mastermind, and of course, into my one-on-one coaching. I always want people to stand for their own courage, their own bravery, right? I want them to be courageous because it's essential as an entrepreneur. Not only do I want them to be courageous, but I want them to be them. I want them to be authentic. I don't want them to be me, right? I want to support them for who they are, what they stand for. And then, of course, honesty, integrity. That's so important that we're in alignment. When we're out of alignment, the universe can hear it, can see it. And we do not receive what we want. So check in with yourself. What are your core values? And are you sharing them? Are you infusing them into your content, into your copy? Okay. So in order to position yourself, guys, as the expert you are, you're going to infuse your personality, your life experiences, your knowledge, and your values. That is the U blend. In combination with talking to your ideal client and understanding and knowing the process that you take people through. When you blend these areas together and you infuse it into your marketing, into your copy, the clients will begin to start coming to you. That's just how it works. So that's what I want you to go to work on tonight. I want you to take those formulas that I gave you yesterday, and now I want you to add to it what makes you unique. I want you to position yourself as the expert you are. Tomorrow, I'm going to teach you brain confidence, which in all truthfulness is the secret to really attracting clients with ease. It all comes down to your energy and to what you're putting out. I can teach you all these formulas. I can teach you how to position yourself. I can teach you how to write fantastic copy. But in all truthfulness, if your energy is not clean, if your head is not in the right place, none of it's going to work. So don't forget, make sure you tune in for tomorrow at 4 p.m. as we go through brain confidence. And I had a few people reach out to me last night wanting to know how they can take this work deeper, right? If they wanted to learn more about really honing in on their message, really fine-tuning their process, and really tapping into who this ideal client is. Like they're still a little bit maybe new, or they've been very broad and now they're ready to go full force and really create some serious momentum in their business. So I just wanted to let you guys know that at this time right now, I actually don't have any more one-on-one slots open, but my mastermind, which starts at the end of September, the Holistic Growth Mastermind, the doors are open. You can apply. And I keep the group nice and small, so we keep it intimate, and it is a 6-month group experience. I can tell you right now from personal experience, I'm in a mastermind with multiple six-figure million-dollar coaches. And it has honestly been the mind-blowing, because one of the most beautiful things about a mastermind is do I get coached every week? No. But here's the beauty. Sometimes one of my peers comes to the group with coaching, and it's something I didn't even realize I was personally working through, struggling with, or needed in order to shift to the next level. The coaching that person receives, I then apply to myself. Boom, take off. So if you want to learn more about my mastermind, the Holistic Growth Mastermind, if you are newer in your business, you're getting started, right? You want to start hitting those 5 and 10K months consistently. I highly want to encourage you to, I'm going to drop the link in the comments to look at it, check it out. See if it's a good match for you. And we can get on a call and talk more and see if it's the right direction for you. All right, my friends, I promised I was going to keep these videos under 30 minutes, and we're right around 22. So take out your playbook, go to work, and have a fantastic night. And I'll see you tomorrow for Brain Confidence.